You. Our next story may confirm your worst suspicions. It's about tenants who discovered to their horror that they were not alone even in the privacy of their own apartments. Their landlords were not only spying on them, but prowling around their homes and in some cases stealing when they weren't there. As Sylvia Chase reports, it took hidden cameras to see what was really going on.
Last July, tenants leave their video camera rolling while they go out. They'd been noticing odd things.
There was a $100 bill missing, plus a money order. And we noticed certain things were out of place.
Suspecting his landlady and her family were involved, Michael Zapsall of Buffalo, New York, decided to spring his videotape trap. Here's the landlady and her husband entering and leaving. Within minutes, their niece walks in, heading straight for the camera, looks at the controls, and then pushes a button. Then calls out to the landlady.
Wait a minute, Donna.
The camera is taken from the apartment after it is shut off, but the tape itself is left behind in the VCR, and the tenants turn it over to police. Officers Harvey Frankel and Paul Lomasny made the arrests. All pled guilty.
This case was open and shut from the moment we saw the videotape.
Long Island police investigators set up 3 hidden cameras in this tenant's apartment, catching her landlord making repeated visits last month while she was at work. Police say he was prowling and burglarizing. And here he is at her refrigerator. Police decided through chemical analysis that he urinated in a container of Chinese food, then sealed it up and put it back in the fridge.
We deal with landlord-tenant troubles quite frequently. It's to the point probably once a day. In my experience, the landlords are causing more of the problems than the tenants.
You want to go in the highest one?
That was certainly true for tenant Tracy Furtado, single mother and full-time student. She rented a room from a San Jose, California homeowner in December 1996.
There was weird things like my underwear would disappear and then they would reappear.
But she didn't tape her landlord. It was the other way around, as she would later discover. Furtado's landlord made almost 200 videotapes of her in what she believed to be the privacy of her bedroom and the bathroom.
It's kind of like a mental rape, I guess, for somebody to know that much of you.
Landlord John Machon had installed a smoke detector in her bedroom ceiling and a clock on the bathroom wall. Behind each, a hidden camera, linked to timers set to record her showering in the bathroom and dressing in the bedroom.
He had a remote control so he could sit there and watch it. He had headphones hooked up to it so he could listen quietly.
The landlord pled no contest to charges of eavesdropping and possession of child pornography. Later, Furtado received an out-of-court settlement from the landlord in a civil lawsuit.
It's popping up everywhere. It's a new phenomenon.
It happened in Alaska last year, in this Quonset hut on a remote dirt road about an hour's drive north of Anchorage. Landlord Lynn Lacey rented out apartments in the front and lived in the back. Robin Pendleton, her son, and Colin Wilkins moved in for 4 months. They got friendly with Lacey, even took him to church. But the landlord brushed it off when they said they heard noises.
I hear people walking, and I'd call him. Oh, there's nobody up there.
We'd hear noises up there and think, well, now, who the hell's up there? How'd they get in? We got the keys and everything. You know, we'd go up there and we wouldn't see anything.
They didn't suspect their landlord, a man who was not what he seemed, with at least 8 aliases, convicted of burglary, concealing a weapon on an airplane. Lacey was once a fugitive from justice in Oregon. To Greg Jennings, a house framer, the landlord did seem odd, but the rent was cheap, and he moved in with his wife Lisa and their 4 children last July.
First night, I don't know, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, I woke up. I just felt uneasy and like somebody's watching me.
What made you suspicious?
Just something didn't seem right with the layout. And just clicked in my head, okay, well, wait a minute, there's a mirror facing my shower. And then I thought, 2-way mirror. I said, okay, no way. So I go, sure enough, I took a flashlight up into it.
You can see right through it. And yeah, sure enough, the sheetrock had been cut away, so where he can just go in there and, do whatever he does.
They phoned the police, who over 11 days found not just 2-way mirrors, but a maze of secret passageways, hidden rooms, and peepholes through which every act of their families' lives could be seen day and night and videotaped.
Can you show me? So everything from the wall, the inside wall on back, is a crawl space where he can crawl in and look.
He had one of his mattresses behind right there.
He had a mattress behind this wall, and then he could peep right in to the bedroom.
My 3 sons shared this room.
And behind your son's wall were peepholes, and he had a chamber back here.
Right.
And he had a mattress set up there.
Right.
It's something the children can't seem to get over.
2 of my potty-trained kids room back the diapers. They would be standing outside the bathroom screaming because they had to go potty, but someone had to come and block the mirror and be in there with them. We, you know, had them in therapy and stuff, but the bedwetting still occurs. They're afraid to get up and go in the bathroom at night.
Police say Lacey was also able to tap his tenants' telephones. So State Trooper Pat Davis believes that not only did Lacey hear them calling for help, but that he had time to conceal evidence because the tenant saw him drive off with 2 huge boxes before police could get to the apartments.
We were looking for videotapes, photographs that may have been taken of tenants or prior tenants.
After landlord Lacey was arrested, investigators alleged that amidst dozens of bras and panties in his apartment were many belonging to tenants and their children. They also discovered hundreds of videotapes, many of them pornographic. One showed his tenants in private moments. And Sandra Neuser was one of them. In 1996, she'd signed a 1-year lease and the family could not afford to move, even though there was trouble right from the start.
She complained all the time about hearing him crawling through the ceiling every time she took a shower.
Little did she know, Lacey had a video camera with him, as police later charged. Sandra and Dennis got a call from the investigators.
They wanted us to come down and confirm that it was us on the videotape.
And what did you see when you went down there?
Me getting out of the shower and drying off and putting my clothes on. And there were several different days that he videotaped Sandra, taking a shower, cleaning up, what normal people do in the bathroom.
How many copies are there of this? And where are they?
There is a market for these types of homemade sex videos. Real people apparently unaware that they are being taped surreptitiously. Secret Showers is the title of this one, purchased in New York's Times Square. And this one, titled The Window Peeper, was purchased in an Anchorage sex shop, where the salesman also said he was out of stock on some amateur tapes which he said had been produced locally. Produced in the same neighborhood where landlord Lynn Lacey lived.
There could be thousands of copies of the videotapes. He could have put it on the internet. No one knows.
Primetime easily connected on the internet with websites and chat rooms where homemade voyeur tapes are briskly marketed and seemingly at little risk.
There's no crime in selling it,
Not that I'm aware of.
but you have to catch them in the act of videotaping for it to be a crime. Is that it?
Yes.
Most state laws are weak, as Tracy Furtado discovered in California.
What he did to me was classified with the same thing as somebody peeking through your window.
As punishment for these tapes, Furtado's landlord served only a 1.5 years in work furlough, sleeping in jail, going out to work daily in community service. Under Alaska law, landlord Lacey was charged with only misdemeanors for secretly taping his tenants in the nude, although stealing items from their apartments, including underwear, was considered a felony.
He had nightgowns of mine, he had a leotard, he had underwear. And
He liked bra and panty sets.
Lisa and Robin say for the rest of their lives, they will worry.
You guys gonna go for a bike ride? He was all over. He was watching us all the time. He was listening to everything that we said, you know. He's in your head, too.
Even though police never found any tapes of their children, the mothers are convinced that there are some tapes out there, somewhere.
Last week, landlord Lacey pled guilty to 4 charges related to the surveillance of his tenants. The landlord, who police say tampered with his tenants' Chinese food, has pleaded not guilty to a burglary charge.